Have you ever wondered why some people in their 60s and 70s seem to radiate peace and energy, while others appear weighed down by stress, regret, and constant obligations? What if the secret to a longer, healthier, and happier life wasn't just about what you eat or how often you exercise, but also about the people you choose to keep around or let go of? Today, we're diving into a powerful question. Who are the 5 types of people seniors should stop being overly kind to in order to truly thrive after 60? Listen carefully, because one of these might surprise you. And when we get to number 3, I want you to ask yourself, does this sound like me? If it does, write the number 3 in the comments below. That's how you'll know you're not alone. The story of Margaret and Frank. Let's start with a story. Margaret, 67, and Frank, 70, were lifelong friends. They both retired from demanding jobs and looked forward to enjoying their golden years. But their experiences couldn't have been more different. Margaret spent her time saying yes to everyone, her children, her neighbors, even acquaintances who needed favors. She rarely said no. She thought being kind was the key to happiness. But after a while, she noticed something. She was exhausted. Her knees hurt because she never had time for her morning walks. She skipped her doctor's checkups because she was too busy driving other people around. Frank, on the other hand, had learned a valuable lesson. He realized that kindness is powerful, but it has to be balanced. He stopped pouring energy into people who drained him and instead invested in his health, his hobbies, and relationships that made him feel alive. At 70, Frank was still hiking twice a week, eating well, and laughing often. So what was the difference? Frank had learned the art of choosing wisely. He knew exactly which kinds of people not to be overly kind to. And today, we'll uncover those 5 categories together. Number 1, the people who constantly drain your energy. We all know someone like this. No matter how much time you give them, they never change. They complain, gossip, or pull you into their problems, and after every conversation, you feel like you've lost energy instead of gained it. Research from psychology tells us that chronic stress, like the kind caused by difficult relationships, raises cortisol levels. And long-term high cortisol can contribute to high blood pressure, diabetes, and even memory loss. For seniors, energy is precious. It's like a battery that doesn't recharge as quickly as it used to. If you spend that battery on energy drainers, you have less left for walks, learning, laughter, and family. So here's the tip. You don't need to cut them out completely, but set boundaries. Give them limited time and always protect moments in your day for yourself. So let me ask you, do you know someone who leaves you feeling drained after every call or visit? If yes, that's your sign. Number 2, the people who disrespect your health choices. Imagine this. You finally decided to eat more vegetables, reduce sugar, or go for a daily walk. But then a friend or even a family member says, "Oh, come on, live a little, skip the walk, have another slice of cake." At first, it seems harmless, but over time, these influences can sabotage your goals. Studies in nutrition and aging show that small, consistent habits, like cutting down on processed foods and staying active, are the foundation of healthy aging. And yet, if people around you dismiss your choices, they can make you feel guilty or silly for doing the right thing. Frank faced this too. When he started a morning stretching routine, some of his buddies laughed at him. But guess what? After 6 months, while they struggled with back pain, Frank was still flexible and energetic. Here's the tip. Stay firm. Your health is non-negotiable. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. If you've ever had someone laugh at your healthy habits, write the number 2 in the comments. Let's see how many of us share this experience. Number 3, the people who take but never give. This one is subtle but powerful. These are the people who always ask for help,
rides, money, advice, but when you need a hand, they are nowhere to be found. Margaret struggled with this. Her grown daughter would constantly call asking for babysitting, borrowing money, or last-minute favors. Margaret never complained, but deep down she felt used. She missed out on time with friends, she skipped church activities, and her own joy slipped away. Studies on aging and happiness highlight reciprocity, mutual giving and receiving, as a key ingredient in long-term well-being. Relationships where one side takes more than they give can lead to feelings of loneliness and resentment, even if you're surrounded by people. Here's the tip. Start saying no with kindness. You don't have to argue or explain. Just, I can't today. I have plans. Protect your time like gold, because it is. Now, I promised you this one would hit home, so if you recognize this in your life, type the number 3 in the comments. You'll see you're not the only one. Number 4, the people who refuse to grow. You've probably heard the phrase, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but science proves otherwise. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, continues well into later life. Seniors can learn languages, play instruments, and even rewire habits. But what happens when you surround yourself with people who refuse to grow, who insist it's too late or why bother? Their mindset rubs off on you. Frank had a neighbor like this, Tom. Every time Frank talked about reading a new book or trying Tai Chi, Tom would laugh and say, "At our age, just sit down and watch TV." Frank didn't argue, but he made a choice. He limited his time with Tom. Instead, he joined a small group at the library where people his age were learning new skills. The difference? Frank stayed mentally sharp, while Tom grew more withdrawn. Here's the tip. Seek out people who inspire you to keep learning, even if it's just small steps.
Number 5, the people who keep you stuck in the past. This last one is the most painful. Some people can't stop bringing up old mistakes, regrets, or the good old days. While nostalgia can be sweet, living in the past robs you of the present moment. Margaret had a cousin, Linda, who always reminded her of the one business idea she never pursued in her 30s. Every time they met, Linda would say, "You could have been so successful if only you had done that." At first, Margaret laughed it off, but over time, it weighed on her. She began to doubt her life choices, even though she had raised wonderful children and built a beautiful home. Studies on healthy aging show that resilience and emotional health are linked to living in the present and practicing gratitude. Seniors who focus on what's here and now, time with grandchildren, walks in nature, learning new hobbies, report higher happiness than those stuck in regret. Here's the tip. Be kind to yourself by stepping away from people who tie you to regrets. Life after 60 is not about what could have been, it's about what still can be. If you know someone who always drags you back into the past and you're ready to move forward, type the number 5 in the comments. The bigger picture, protecting your energy. So, let's recap. The 5 people you should stop being overly kind to after 60 are, number 1, the ones who constantly drain your energy. Number 2, the ones who disrespect your health choices. Number 3, the ones who take but never give. Number 4, the ones who refuse to grow. Number 5, the ones who keep you stuck in the past. Now let's be clear. This isn't about becoming cold or unkind. It's about protecting your energy so you can live a longer, healthier, and more joyful life. Scientists who study longevity often emphasize the same habits: eating whole foods, moving your body, staying socially connected, and keeping your mind active. But there's a hidden factor just as important: the quality of your relationships.
Frank lived this truth. By choosing wisely who he invested his kindness in, he gained extra time for stretching, healthy meals, and meaningful conversations. He reduced stress, improved his mental health, and enjoyed aging with strength and dignity. Margaret, once she realized her patterns, made a shift too. She started saying no, gently but firmly. She joined a gardening club where she felt inspired and valued. Slowly, her health improved, and so did her joy. Final call to action. So now I want to ask you, out of these 5, which one feels most familiar to your life? Pick the number and write it in the comments below. If you agree with number 3, write a 3. If you've dealt with number 5, type a 5. Your comment might just inspire someone else to make a healthy change too. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe, because we'll share more stories, tips, and practical steps for living not just longer, but better. Remember this, life after 60 is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where your kindness, your energy, and your joy should flow towards the things and people that truly matter.